Hi everybody, I hope you're great. This video is going to be about the simple present tense. It's one of the most basic structures that we need to learn to speak in English, right? So the simple present is used for very specific situations, okay? Some of the most common are for, okay, to talk about routines or habits. We also use simple present tense to talk about general truth. And well, this is part of that general truth or things, actions, situations, events that never change. Okay, so those are like the most common situations in which we use the simple present tense to describe or to say our ideas. Okay, when we are talking about our routines, the things that we always do, things that we do with certain frequency. Okay, and general truth. A general truth is something that is always the same. It's always like that. For example, we can say that it rains a lot in Costa Rica. That's a general truth in Costa Rica. It rains a lot. Okay, so I'm using simple present because that's something that is a general truth. We can also say that the Earth, the planet Earth, rotates around the sun. Okay, that's also simple present because it's a general truth. We can also say that, I don't know, planes travel fast. I'm just inventing examples, right? That's a general truth. They always go fast. That it's a general truth. Or things that never change. Okay, things that we know that are always the same. They are pretty related. For example, moms. I know that sometimes it's not true, but well, moms take care of their children. Okay, sometimes it changes, but well, it's in general, moms take care of children. Okay, those are general truth, things that readily change, etc. That's when we use the simple present, right? So remember that I told you that English is a very structured language. Okay, we always have a structure for each verb tense, for each structure, okay, grammar aspect, and here is the same. So we're going to start seeing how to create sentences, complete sentences, and complete grammatical correct sentences using this verb tense, the simple present. Okay, so we're going to start with affirmative sentences, okay? Affirmative and negative sentences, only sentences. And then we're going to see how to create questions. But by now, sentences. Okay, in an affirmative sentence, there's a very specific rule and very important rule that we need to learn. Okay, remember that a complete sentence has a subject plus a verb plus the complement, right? Now, in simple present is exactly the same. The only rule that you need to pay attention to is that if the subject is he, she, or it, or the noun, remember it can be Juan, it can be, I don't know, Maria, it can be the dog. Okay, if the subject is singular, third person singular, the verb requires an S or ES, depending on the verb. Okay, that's the only rule that you need to remember to write affirmative sentences in simple present. we're going to use a very common example, okay? A very common verb. Let's use the verb play, okay? Everybody knows the meaning of play. So when we are using the subject he, she, or it, the verb requires an S. So we need to say plays. He plays, she plays, or the dog, it plays, I don't know. And the complement in the garden, right? Simple present for he, she, and it. We have the complement, the verb, and that verb requires an S. Okay, what happens with the other subjects? I mean, with the other pronouns. If my subject is I, you, they, or we, right? Any of them, or the nouns I, you, they, like my sisters, for example, or we, my family and I. This doesn't happen. We have a very simple verb and the complement. Okay, so we use the same verb for all these, and here is the same. We use the same verb, but we add an S to that verb. So that's the only rule that you need to remember to write affirmative sentences in simple present. When the subject is he, she, or it, you need to add an S to the verb. When do we use ES? Okay, in verbs that ends with. Okay, ES, when the verb ends with this, and that. For example, let's use the verb wash. Okay, the verb wash ends with sh, CSH, right? So in that case, we say he washes the car on weekends. Okay, that is his routine. Okay, he or she washes the car on weekends. Okay, so we have this ending as ch, or x, so we add an es to the verb. Okay, an example of other verbs, like the verb miss. She misses you. We add an es. With ch, she watches TV before sleeping. Okay, with x, fix. My mechanic fixes my car very well. Okay, so in those cases we use es. With other verbs we simply add the s after the main verb, right? And that's what you need to remember. Okay, he, she, and it, verb with s. I, you, they, and we, simple verb, and the rest of the sentence is exactly the same. Now, let's write now some negative sentences. How do we write negative sentences in simple present? Very simple. We use a short particle, okay, to create the negative. Okay, affirmative sentences, we already saw it. Negative sentences, we have the same structure. We always have subject, verb, complement. Remember that. Where is my black marker? That never changes. We have subject, plus verb plus complement. But the only difference is that we need a negation. We need a particle to say that the sentence is negative. So my subjects are the same. Well, let me keep the same order. He, she, and it. I, you, they, and we. Let's use the same verb, play. And here, play. Okay, what do I need to say that he, she, or it no juegan? I just need to say doesn't. Doesn't for he, she, and it. He doesn't, she doesn't, it doesn't, plus the verb. Okay, he doesn't play, she doesn't play, it doesn't play, complement, at night. I don't know, he or she doesn't like when it's dark, so he doesn't play at night, or she doesn't play at night. Very important. Why DS is not here? Because here we have DS. Okay, DS is already in the doesn't. So we never ever use DS when the sentence is negative. Never, okay? So DS is here. This S was the one that was here. So we already have it here. We delete it from here. Okay? And what happened with them? What happened with these four subjects? Well, we also need a particle, a negative particle, but in this case, it is don't. I don't play, you don't play, they don't play, we don't play. I don't play, tennis. Okay, that's my complement. Okay, I don't play tennis, you don't play tennis, they don't play tennis, and we don't play tennis, right? So we see, we use this particle to make the sentence negative, and we use this particle to make this sentence negative. Both of them keep the same structure, subject, subjects, verb, verbs, and complements here, but right before the verb, we add doesn't or don't. And that's it. Okay, that's all what you need to make the sentence negative. Very important, class. Remember that the subject can be the noun or the pronoun, and the rules don't change. Okay, what happens if I have the nouns? Exactly the same. Let me change the pronouns. For example, I can say Mark, and Mark is a he. I can say Mary, and Mary is a she. I can say the dog, and the dog is it, right? And we keep the same. Mark doesn't play at night. Mary doesn't play at night. The dog doesn't play at night. And here, well, I don't play at night. I don't play tennis. You don't play tennis. My brothers, que es ellos, they, okay, my brothers don't play tennis, and we. Okay, my family and I, which is we, my family and I don't play tennis, right? So we have the same structure. Regardless, we have the pronoun or the noun, okay? That doesn't affect the structure that we need to follow. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and I'm going to record a different video to explain the questions.